What's up? It's your girl K.Honesty, and I'm about to be recapping Snowfall Season 6 premiere. So if you haven't seen the Season 6 premiere, you need to turn this video off right now and go watch it and then come back because I'm about to be spoiling, giving all types of, talking about all types of stuff from the first episode. And mind you that anything I talk about is my opinion. It doesn't reflect anybody that creates the show or loves the show or anything like that. This is my opinion, so that's how I feel. I'm going to be looking over here because I got my little notes, and I'm going to be grabbing my water because my mouth is dry. Alright, so the episode starts off with this little girl sitting on the porch. Her grandfather come up to her. What's wrong, little girl? She was like, well, we found out later that that's her grandfather. She come up to her, what's wrong? She was like, my father didn't come home last night. Turns out her father was one of the guys that died outside of Jerome's club, that Franklin or one of his little driver bitches shot up or something like that. Either way, Franklin killed her father or whatever. So I think that's going, I don't know. It might come into play or it might not because it's the last season. I feel like something so small like that. But it's like, why would they make that whole scene a thing if it wasn't going to come back in the future? So I feel like something going to happen with that. So Franklin in the car with his girl. He telling her the forensic accountant can't get their money back, which we already knew. Like, it's dirty money. Ain't no way he getting that back without the federal government's assistance. That's what they said. Turns out, Gustavo is out. I'm going to talk about that later because I want to go scene for scene. But Gustavo's out, and we find out later in the episode why he's out and why he got arrested and the whole bug situation in his house and all that. We're going to talk about that. But Gustavo's out. He come home to his girl. She like, where you been? Whatever. We know where you been. Okay. So Franklin and his girl, they trying to find a way to clean the money and the drugs or whatever. You know, they trying to launder the money that they stole from Louis and Jerome. So he telling her, can't you get your mother's ex-boyfriend to move this stuff for us? And she like, I'm not even trying. You know, his girl is so annoying. I'm not trying to be about that life. And it's so annoying to me because the last episode, he told her, look, it's about to get, like, shit about to get savage. If you can't deal with it, you need to go. Like, and I would understand. You need to take our baby and you need to go. She chose to stay. So if you chose to stay, you down for whatever he about to get himself into. You got to be with it. You can't just keep complaining and all that. So I was irritated that she was like, I'm not trying to help you. You need to go back and tell Louis and Jerome you made a mistake, da-da-da-da. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm over this girl. She say no. Mind you, I didn't talk about this on the last, on my little recap that I did of the last episode of the season 5 finale. We forget that Peaches is still missing. D-Ray Davis, Franklin's little bodyguard, he's still missing. I forgot all about him being missing. So he's still missing. So Franklin meets up with his with the dude that was helping him back in earlier episodes get information on Teddy when he first started working with Teddy. So Franklin meet up with him, and dude was like, yeah, I still haven't heard from Peaches. We've been looking, we still haven't found Peaches. So Franklin, he ups the bounty on trying to find Peaches. He trying to find Peaches. So, and he tells the dude, like, I need you to relocate these people that you found for me involving Teddy back in the day. I need you to, like, reconfirm their location, make sure they in the same spot. Because, like, I'm about to, we know what Franklin about to do. Teddy meets up with Avi's men. Remember the one that Teddy shot in the ear? So, like, fucked his ear up or whatever. So, the dude, he talking about getting revenge, but he don't end up doing it. He just like, we cutting you off. And Teddy was like, they took someone important to me. Dude was like, I don't give a fuck. You cut off. So Avi's men, they cut off Teddy. Then we find out that Teddy didn't plant the bug in Gustavo's house, which some people probably already knew, but I didn't know. Like, I thought it was Teddy for sure. I thought he was just, because Teddy that type of dude to just try to keep tabs on somebody that he working with because he's too cautious or whatever. So I definitely thought it was Teddy, but turns out it's not Teddy. We find out later who it is. I'm going to talk about that. But it's not Teddy that plants the bug in his house. He was telling his girlfriend that. So Sissy meets up with the little KGB dude. KGB dude, like, she asking them about Avi. She like, if Franklin know about Avi, then so do Teddy. The dude like, we got to move fast and all that. So he like, I need to meet with Franklin now. Like, it's time. You need to tell him about us. Well, she already had told him or whatever. So Franklin, he going around trying to start a move the product that he stole from Louis and Jerome. So he go meet up with the young dude. I don't know the dude's name, but he real close with Jerome. He was like, yeah, I could give you less. I could charge you less than what Jerome charging you. And then if Jerome got a problem with it, then tell him to lower his price, or you can just stick with him because I know you mess with him harder than me type stuff. So Franklin was just like, yeah, I'm going to lower the price. And if Jerome can't match it, then I feel like you should just keep coming to me. So dude was like, yeah, you know, I got to talk to Jerome first. So, okay, we know how that's going to go. So Teddy meet with Gustavo. Gustavo make up some excuse about having to be in the hospital all night with his son. The doctor didn't come. When we know he was locked up. And whole time I thought that Teddy was the one that set Gustavo up because Gustavo wasn't trying to come help him figure out what was going on with Avi or whatever in the last episode. So I thought it was Teddy. But we found out later in the episode. It's a lot of stuff that happens with Gustavo at the end of this episode that I found out. I don't know if people knew, but I didn't know. But we found out later why Gustavo got locked up at the end of episode, at the end of the season 5. So we found that out. Then Franklin, still going around trying to move the product. He goes to Kane people. He was like, yeah, I know that you was buying from Leon. That was Franklin's best friend name. I couldn't remember. But Leon, Leon left with the crackhead girl. I can't remember her name. But yeah, so he was like, I know y'all was buying from Leon. Leon left the country. And dude was like, Kane probably ain't even trying to mess with you because of your peoples, what they did. Franklin was like, look, I know y'all gonna want to make some money. And if y'all want to get back at them, it affect their business. Like, buy from me and that'll mess their business up. But they already going around. Louis and Jerome are already in a tizzy right now because all their assets is gone. Franklin took about almost $4 million or something like that. So Teddy meets with his little CIA friend, and he basically telling them like basically the same stuff he was talking to him about on the last episode. Like is the CIA gonna let me back because I gave him the $73 million, but now you hot because this KGB dude got something on you, and like we got to make sure you clean before you could just come back into the CIA. So Teddy and Teddy was telling Gustavo comes in while he talks to the CIA dude. Teddy tells Gustavo, I'm so sorry I didn't care that much about your son. What hospital was he in? Like Teddy, like, you don't even try to be subtle about this shit. Like, Teddy, we know you randomly asking him what hospital you was sitting in all night waiting to hear from the doctor about your son. We already know what you want. So Franklin, apparently the girlfriend changes her mind with her fake. I don't like the girlfriend. The girlfriend changes her mind about helping Franklin launder the money after they had this little talk. He like, we got to do this. Like, this next couple of weeks will determine the rest of our life. So he sent her to Miami on a PJ to launder some of the money. She got this little fake pregnant belly, talking about this would be a good cover up for a woman trying to launder some money in MIA. Whatever. Louis cop friend meets up with her and Jerome, telling them that they hat after both their businesses got shot up and ran through and all that. They know it's drug related, but they can't really do nothing without the proof or whatever. So basically just telling them that they had or whatever. So Franklin finally calls Jerome and Louis back. Because Jerome, they've been paging them all day after they got hit. They know it's him. So Franklin finally calls them back. And Jerome like, let's meet up. And Franklin that like, no. So it's basically a war thing. So they get off the phone and Louis tells Jerome, I didn't tell you this, but after I refused to tell Franklin where I was going to meet Teddy at, he pulled a gun on me, and I'm pretty sure he would have killed me if they cop that worked for them wasn't there. And I was just like, I don't know. Would Franklin have really shot Louis? I mean, he probably would have. He probably would have. And it's at the same time, like, Louis, you could have just told him where the meat was at and then lied and told Teddy that Franklin been watching you, hoping that you would lead him to you. It's like that simple. Teddy wouldn't have, like, I don't know. So, this is the part I've been waiting for. Gustavo goes to this random motel or whatever. Turns out this nigga Gustavo, which people probably already knew, but I be forgetting stuff. So, turns out this nigga Gustavo is an informant. And the cop that that locked him up on the last episode was the cop that Gustavo is informing to. And he's the cop that planted the bug in his house. So I thought it was Teddy this whole time, and it was the cop that planted the bug in his house to keep tabs on him. And that's probably how he found out that Gustavo was about to leave the country with the girlfriend and the kids. So that's probably why the Fed picked him up at the end of the last episode, because he was like, oh, you about to flee the country, and you supposed to be informing on us about Teddy McDonald? Oh, no, that's not happening. So they probably picked him up for that. I'm wondering, though, like, he's an informant. They probably took that $10 million. Because, like, if he working, I don't know. He tried to flee, so I feel like they probably took that $10 million. I feel like. What else? Okay. So then we get this big talk between Franklin and Sissy. Franklin, like, you know, Sissy trying to get Franklin to meet with the KGB dude. He was like, it's time to meet. So Franklin, like, you just making it seem like it's so easy to just turn my back on America and work with these Russians. We might have to leave the country. Da 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 da. Sissy telling them, like, you think this country give a fuck about you? They waiting to lock your black ass up. And she was like, you know what? I feel like, she was like, and my whole she was like, when her husband, his dad, disappeared in Cuba, she felt all alone. And she just kept thinking, like, they could come for her next. And then she started thinking, like, the only reason Teddy let her go, let her live, not because he felt bad because she's Franklin's mother. She felt like that he let her live because he felt like she was no threat to him. Like, he could do the worst to her and she wouldn't retaliate in no way because of she just some old black mother, basically. So she's like, I'm in, like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna take Teddy down, like, just because he think I'm not a threat. I want him to know that I'm the one that did it. Da da da. So Franklin, that speech that she gave, I felt that. I was like, girl. So Franklin was like, yeah, my man, tell him I meet tomorrow. So the last part of this damn show, it was so hurtful to see, but I understand why it was done, but it was just so sad. So Franklin's runners, the girls that drive him around or whatever, it was a scene where they met up to get the product from Franklin, and they was like, Franklin, why you don't just tell us where the warehouse at just to make it quicker? You know, Franklin, he on a new tip now. He like, I'm not telling nobody shit. Like, I'm not telling nobody my movements with nothing at da da da. So he like the products in the trunk. Get the product. So the girls, they go drop the product off to the young dude. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Earlier in the episode, the young dude did meet up with Jerome and was like, yeah, if you can't lower the price down to 10, I'm going to be fucking with Franklin. And Jerome was like, when you were supposed to be meeting with Franklin, did you get the product yet? And the dude was like, nah, the girl's supposed to be dropping it off later. I knew that was going to come back into play. So, okay, fast forward to this last scene of the episode. The girls, they dropped the product off to the young nigga. And the young nigga give him the money. So I thought something was going to happen at the meet to the girls. I thought that Jerome was going to be at the meet and the girls was going to get ambushed or whatever. But no. They drive away with the money and get pulled over by the cops. 2 real cops, and then the cop that got that don't even work for the LAPD no more. Earlier in the episode, he told Louie and Jerome he don't work for the LAPD no more, but he still got friends in there. So they was like, keep him close or whatever. So he comes up with 2 real cops. They tell the girls to get out the car without no explanation on why they getting pulled over. And then he comes out of nowhere. They was like, you're not even a real cop. And he was like, well, you should be scared then. So they get out the car. They tell him to open the trunk. Of course, the money in the trunk. Then Jerome hops out. Jerome hops out the car and walks up to them. Where is Franklin keeping my money? They like, we don't know, nigga. So he hits the big one, because it's a big dark-skinned one and it's a little light-skinned one. So he hits the big dark-skinned one in the face, knocks her down. The little one being held back by one of the police officers. And mind you, it's a spectacle of people watching. But you know, this back in the day, so I don't think, it's back in the day, so they didn't have cell phones because they was paging everybody, yeah. So nobody could record, or this was just happening, and stuff like this happens still, and it's always happening. So they holding the little one back, and the big one, Jerome, he beating her. He pistol whipping her. Where is he keeping my money? They telling him, we don't know. So apparently Jerome gives in and believes them. And it's like, he like, tell Franklin I did this and I won't stop until I get my money. And then the feds, they hop back in their car and Jerome rides off. And then the big one, she just laying unconscious on the ground. The little one trying to wake her up. And she telling the spectator people, call the police, call the police. And it ends like that. And I was just like, wow. I would give this episode a A+, because there was a lot of stuff going on. We already knew that Louis, Jerome, and Franklin was going to be at war. So I'm waiting to see how that's going to play out. I know it's an episode 2 that's that aired too on Hulu, but I'm not gonna watch that one. I'm gonna wait until next Wednesday, because I know some people don't have Hulu and some people are watching it live on FX. So I feel like I should do it week by week. That way I don't spoil it for people that that don't watch it. Don't watch it on Hulu. Yeah, but I feel like this episode was really crazy. I feel like Teddy, he is not gonna want to work with Louis and Jerome. Oh yeah, earlier in the episode, Teddy and Louis meet up. Louis was like, I'm gonna need some bricks on consignment because Franklin wiped us out. She tried to fake mention that Franklin was wiped out to see Teddy's reaction, I feel like. But she know Teddy was the one that did it. So I don't think Teddy is going to work with them in the future because of the family feud that's happening right now. I feel like he ain't going to want to get into the middle of that. So I feel like down the road, Teddy is going to be like, nah, fuck Louis and Jerome. Oh yeah, so the girl, I forgot about that. The girl that disappeared with Teddy, that was when Teddy went to go get the files out of Avi's house and got to jump on that KGB dude. The girl that he was with disappeared. So I thought that she was either KGB or she was following the KGB dude. Turns out she got locked up or something. She was in holding or something like that. It was random. I was like, what the hell? So apparently she ain't nobody for real. She just somebody that he really care about. I guess they're trying to show us that Teddy has somebody that he cares besides his ex-wife and his child that's alias somewhere. So that was weird, but yeah, Gustavo's an informant, so that's crazy to me. I wonder how that's gonna play out because the cop, who is he? Is he FBI? Is he ain't LAPD? So it's like, can he really take down a CIA agent? I don't know. And then Franklin, I'm scared for Franklin. I feel like that KGB dude did what he did to Avi. So I feel like he has no loyalty. I feel like he is going to betray Sissy and end up killing Franklin or trying to kill Franklin. Franklin might end up going at war with the KGB dude. I don't know. But this shit will be crazy. My phone just fell. But that was the end anyway. So thank y'all for watching this recap. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday.